WGCN kids, welcome back. I hope you guys had a great week this last week. Today our story is going to be from Genesis chapter 25, and it's about these two brothers named Jacob and Esau. So first I want to ask you guys, so have you ever heard of those stories where people are having like a garage sale and they're selling all their old junk? They're like, oh, they just want to get rid of it, but then it turns out something that they sold was super valuable. And you're like, why did they sell it? Well, it's either because they didn't realize that it was super valuable, or they just really needed to get rid of stuff quickly. Either way, they most likely regretted selling that. So today, that's kind of what Esau did. He gave up his future for a bowl of stew. What are some things that you see people taking lightly today? So I thought of some things like marriages, family relationships, education. Some people take their physical health lightly, too lightly, and your spiritual life too. And that's because a lot of people live for what they can have today. But we all know as Christians that our life doesn't end just here on earth. So something I want to talk about before we start our lesson is I want to talk about what a birthright is. So a birthright is something that you're born into or something you get just being born. And so that could be like something, your name, or your family relationships, or your family's reputation. Also something else that would be a birthright, definitely back in like Jacob and Esau's day, was like property, like a house or a car or livestock, animals. For you, it might be your pets. It's something that you just end up getting because you were born. You didn't work for it. You didn't have to pay for it. It's just something that you get. Okay, so now we're going to get into the story. I'm going to read from two different translations just to make more sense. So I'm going to be skipping around a little bit. It's going to be, though, from Genesis chapter 25, 19 to 34. Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord answered his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. The babies jostled each other within her, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger." When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first to come out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment, so they named him Esau. After this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was content to stay at home among the tents. Esau, who had a taste for wild game, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country, exhausted. He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I am exhausted." Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthright." "Look, I'm about to die," Esau said. "What good is the birthright to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and some lentil stew. He ate and drank, and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. So in the end, Esau he was so hungry that he decided to give his birthright up for some food. We all can relate. We've all been there. We're so hungry, we think we're gonna die if we don't get food in our stomachs. Just that second, we think that we're just gonna pass out, and it's just gonna be over. But we all know that we're being just a wee bit over dramatic when we say that, which here's exactly what Esau was doing. Is even though he thought, because he was so hungry, he thought he was going to die, he had to trade this birthright in. He thought that if he died, it didn't matter if he had the birthright or not because he'd be dead. But he was being just over dramatic. That would be like you and me trading one of our pets or our names or one of our possessions for a Happy Meal at McDonald's. See, it's really not actually worth it when you think about it. In other words, Esau gave up his greatest blessing, his greatest possession, to satisfy a temporary desire of the flesh. He exchanged something that was eternal for something that was temporary. And just like Esau, we all have choices that we have to make in our lives. But the thing is that we have to remember that with each choice that we make, sometimes if it's the wrong choice, there are going to be consequences that last a lifetime, which is exactly what happened with Esau. He traded his birthright, so his future was completely different from then on. He didn't have that birthright anymore. His future was going to be completely different. So I just want you guys to think that even though I understand sometimes decisions in your life right now on this earth can seem so dire and so important right now, but I want you all to remember that it really, in the end, it doesn't matter, because this world is temporary and our spiritual lives and our relationship with God is so much more important. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope that you have an amazing week this week, and can't wait to talk to you on Wednesday. See ya.